Okay, we're live.
Okay, we're live, guys. Lars, whenever you're ready.
Okay, it is 12:01 on March the 2nd. This is the Downtown Improvement District Board.
Can you all mute your microphones unless we vote, please?
Cuando se lo ofrezca, just give me a call and then I can go deliver it.
Alexis, you might need to say that again.
Steve, can you mute your mic, please?
You go back and how do I do that here?
Just click on your screen and at the bottom left-hand corner, there's a mute button.
Not in mine. I can't see it.
I'm on my phone and it's right. If you click on your screen, it's to your left-hand side on the bottom.
Alexa, some apps have it on the right, top right.
Okay, maybe
laptop.
top right?
Yeah.
Top right if it's on your laptop.
I think he's got it.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, go ahead, Lars.
All right. Agenda items, welcome and introductions. Do we have any guests visiting us today?
Yes, we do. We have Javier de Leon from the Harlingen Chamber. He's the new president and CEO. And then we have some Harlingen police officers, Gabe Gonzalez. And I don't believe Angie's on here, unless you are, Angie. Let me see. That's about it.
Okay, very good.
Go ahead, Ed.
Welcome all. Thank you very much for joining in. Any citizens communication?
Yes, Javier, if you'd like to speak on behalf of the chamber and kind of welcome and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Alexis, for actually putting me on the agenda. I asked Alexis if I could sit in on your board because I did want to introduce myself. I know some of you all, but there's some of you all that I don't know. But my name is Javier de Leon, and I started as president and CEO of the Chamber Board January 4th. Before that, I was actually working for TSCC. Charlie Perez knows that. We've worked together for many, many years. I worked with TSCC for almost 34 years as, and my final role was Executive Vice President of Governmental Affairs, where I worked with legislators throughout the 10 counties throughout the state of Texas. But I'm very blessed and honored to now be the chamber leader here in Harlingen. And one of the things I wanted to do is I just wanted to kind of reach out, introduce myself, and also just in the future, reach out to this board and say, how can this board help or how can the chamber help this board? Because really, I want to start laser focusing on small businesses and really making sure that the voices and the concerns and the issues that businesses have is championed by the Chamber of Commerce. And so there's a lot of initiatives that we're doing. In fact, I'm creating a strategic plan that's going to be actually a contract between the chamber and the members and the city of Harlingen. It's going to make us accountable, but at the same time, it's going to be very, very transparent in terms of what our goals are, what our vision is, what our outcome and what our benchmarks is going to be. And so we're excited about that. Hopefully we're going to roll that out in the next maybe 2 months to have that strategic plan. It's a big project, but it's something that is needed because actually that's our roadmap to how we're going to be moving forward. And then finally, what we want to do is we're going to be we want to be relevant, and we want to make sure that whether you're a member or you're thinking of becoming a member, or you never even thought of becoming a member, but hopefully maybe you want to be a member in the future, we want the chamber to be relevant, and we want to make sure that if you are a member and you need some information from the chamber, it's going to be really things that is going to be beneficial. We're creating a chamber library, and in that chamber library, we're going to have legislative issues, medical issues, Texas Workforce Commission issues. We're going to have an array of issues. So it really will benefit every business in some form or fashion, whether it be professional development, self skills, even certifications where businesses can look at how to work with their employees with ethics, maybe sexual harassment, all these other trainings that I think would be very, very crucial for the businesses to have the employees aware of and trained on. So We want to be the synergy of information, and we're really working hard to make sure that we are the cheerleader, we're the support team, and we're the eyes and the ears and the voice of businesses, and trying to make sure that you have every possibility to succeed. It's a trying time right now, but I just want to let you know, as we're moving forward, you're not alone, and the chamber is going to be, again, laser focusing on small businesses every single month. And I'll finish with this because I know you have important things that you all want to talk about. But every single month, we're going to be having information that's going to be available so that you all can see what's going on. Every month, we're going to have women empowering women. So obviously, some people can't join on that one, including. But then we're going to have business over breakfast, where we're going to have businesses come over, present what they're doing. It's kind of a hybrid. If you're comfortable face to face, you can come in. If not, you can go through a Zoom. Every month, we're also going to have a virtual lunch and learn. Our very first guest is going to be Julian Alvarez with the Texas Workforce Commission. He's going to be talking about a lot of funding that's available, a lot of opportunities, a lot of grants that may be available, and a lot of avenues that businesses can reach out to get some help during these times. And every month it's going to be something different, but every month it's going to be something that's informational and hopefully something that is impactful to each and every single one of you. So again, I want to thank you, Alexis, for allowing me to be here. Board, I want to thank you for listening, and know that as we're moving this chamber forward, we're not taking this lightly, and we're creating a lot of new initiatives that's going to make sure that our members and future members is everything that we're doing is relevant to today and relevant for tomorrow. So again, thank you.
Thank you, Javier.
Thank you very much. Any other citizen communication?
Let me just double check if Angie is online. Let me see. Nope, that's it.
Got a question. May I ask Javier a question? Is that allowed?
No.
No, I thought it wasn't. Javier, I'll call you. I'm Stephanie Sokolowski. I'll track you down. I know how to find you.
Yeah, I'll give you his information.
All right. Item number 3, approval of minutes from the regular meeting of February 2nd, 2021. I need
Motion to approve.
second. We have a second.
Second.
Bill seconds. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Just raise your hand.
Okay.
Hey, give us a motion, a literal motion. Financial update, special assessments for public improvement. Alexis.
Yes, so for our special assessment grants, we still have in the budget a remaining balance of $24,361.54. For our public improvements, we do have a remaining balance of $12,788.38. That is before even, approving what we're going to approve in this agenda. Just quick update on public improvements. The artwork for that $1,000 that we approved the previous board meeting, they no longer need that assistance. Our public works department ended up completing that project on their own without paying for anything. So we did it in-house. And our one streetscape budget is still at $2,446.46. That's the remaining balance he has towards the end of his streetscape budget for the year. And that's it.
All right. Item 5, consider and take action to approve the signage for the Rough House located at 311 West Van Buren.
Yes, so the owner of the Rough House submitted signage for their business. All signage meets allowance as per the banner on the fence according to the downtown district overlay. Permanent banners or flags will not be allowed. Temporary banners or flags are allowed for a period not to exceed 30 days per calendar year. So this item does have a banner on their fence line, that is not a permanent, permanent banners are not allowed. So that temporary banner can only exceed for 30 days.
And how many days do we have remaining on that one?
That is until the 19th of March.
Okay, so in order to have any conversation, they did a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on this item?
Okay, the other sign I'm looking at that says the Rough House, that's on the side of the building and that's a permanent sign?
Yes. Mhm. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Or
Aye.
raise your hand.
Aye.
Give us an indication. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, consider to take action to approve a sign grant for the Uppercut Club located at 220 East Jackson Street.
So the business had requested a signed grant, but no documents were submitted, so we'll have to table this item.
Move to table.
We have a motion to table. Second? Stephanie,
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Or motion?
Aye.
It is a tabled item. Thank you. Item 7. Consider and take action to recommend the Planning and Zoning Board to amend the downtown district overlay to prohibit any business from selling alcohol adjacent to a bar/lounge.
Yeah, so this recommendation was brought up to our attention about any future businesses wanting to sell any alcohol adjacent to a bar and lounge to be prohibited. Based on our overlay, we do have a 50-foot spacing that's required between any existing bar or any new bar/lounges being established or reestablished. So in order for this to, not be in the works again, of having a bar and then somebody else wanting to sell alcohol right next to them, we do have a rule that's in place of the 50-foot spacing between any existing bar. We just need to prohibit that from any future businesses wanting to sell any alcohol adjacent to a bar and lounge.
Is that what happened to Uppercut Club? Is that why they're not going for anything?
No.
Because they
No.
plan on selling alcohol?
They do, but they're not adjacent. They're not 50-foot. Their 50-foot spacing is not required because there's no bar or lounge existing near them. It's just
Okay.
for future businesses.
Okay.
So in order to discuss this item, we need a motion. Stephanie says she motions. We have a second.
Charlie?
Second.
Charlie says second. Any
I have a
discussion
question.
or question?
Okay, it appears to me that we're creating a situation that will always remain in flux. If I have a building next to a bar, let's say I have a business next to Sir's Martini Bar, and I want to sell alcohol while somebody's grooming my dog, or I want to have a drink while somebody's grooming my dog. You'd tell me no. But if Sir's closed, then I'd have to go back and try and figure out how I could do it. If we're going to do something like this, and I'm not exactly convinced we should, it needs to be, seems to me, done the same way as we do bars. You cannot sell alcohol within 50 feet of another property that does. That would keep it the same in terms of you can't put bars together. And this would accomplish the same thing. And it would be, it wouldn't be subject to who the tenant is in the building adjacent. That makes sense to me.
But one point to make, Bill, is that it would also prohibit a restaurant from opening next to a bar lounge that would sell beer.
Yeah, I understand, and that makes no sense to me either. I don't have a problem. In fact, I was just in this conversation. If there was a bar here and a restaurant that sells alcohol wanted to move next door, I don't see a problem with that. Now, it was explained to me that if next year the restaurant went over 50% alcohol, then there was nothing we could do about it. But it seems to me the city would be able to say, look, you violated the terms of your agreement with us, and now you have to move or close or something.
No, that's, if you go over 51%, you're considered a bar lounge and you have to apply for an SUP. And
Right.
yes, a SUP has to be granted by the planning and zoning and the city commission. At that point, the 50-foot rule will come into play. And so the SUP would be denied.
That's right.
So,
I agree with the process.
right.
So that's correct, Gabe, but here's my concern. When someone applies with TABC, and several restaurants / lounges in the area have done this in the last couple of years, applies as a restaurant that wants to sell alcohol. At the end of that year, it's discovered that their percentage of alcohol sales has exceeded 51%. TABC comes in and changes their designation. If we just say, okay, well, that's your problem. If you're going to sell more than 51% alcohol, go ahead and open your business, stay there for a year. But if you get switched over, you're going to have to close it or move it. I think it would be safer, make more sense to just say in the downtown, if you're within 50 feet of a bar, you can't sell alcohol, whether you're a restaurant, a dog grooming place, or a man grooming place. Because the likelihood that that place will get switched over in the city of Harlingen to a bar is pretty high at this point.
Again, they'd have to apply for an SUP. You just can't convert to a bar without an SUP in
I
town.
understand.
Amen, Larry. Sounds like you're exactly right to me.
And that would be denied based on the rules, correct?
Right, that's correct.
Yep.
So I'm the owner, and I've just invested in this place. I've been there for a year. I've been cooking along just fine, and all of a sudden the city tells me I can't do it anymore. Do we want to let a citizen open a business knowing full well that he's got a 50-50 shot of us making that business fail because he's going to go over 50% in alcohol sales?
Seems like the logical solution would be to say you can't sell alcohol within 50 feet of somebody else that has a license to sell alcohol. And that's everything.
I agree.
So this maybe needs a little more thought before we move towards approving it.
I have a question for Gabriel. Gabriel, what does the city require? Sometimes, we do some rules of our own and then the city overvotes us. So I want to be consistent with it. What does the city require?
Well, right now, if you're going to open up a bar lounge, you must apply for an SUP, regardless of where you are. There are some other conditions that come into play in the downtown because of the overlay, which prohibits another bar lounge from being within 50 feet of another. That rule isn't anywhere else in the city. But because these two businesses were not bar lounges, they weren't required to apply for an SUP. But if they go over 50%, like Lars and Bill just mentioned, then they would have to come in and apply for an SUP. And at that point, they would be denied because they would be in violation of the 50-foot rule because they're right next to SIRS or Teen Lounge. But see, that onus is on the owner of the building to make sure that they don't go over the 51% because then they'd be shut down.
It seems to me we could avoid a lot of potential future problems by just targeting it the same way as we target the bar licenses.
Mm-hmm. That's one possibility.
50 feet of another license and game over.
Yeah, I know you said, Gabe, you said it's upon the business owner to make sure that doesn't happen, but sometimes you don't have control of that. It's like Dave's Barbecue down the street. The guy says, I opened up a barbecue place and I ended up with a bar. He didn't intend on having a bar, but the sales of his customers, it just took over. There was nothing he could do about it. It just happens. It's kind of organic. It just happens, and you may not be
he's going to have to come in.
What you ended up with.
Right. He would have to come in for an SUP at that point, and then if it meets all the guidelines, it'd probably be granted, considering that he's not within 50 feet of another business and that there aren't any issues with excessive police reports in his business, then it would probably be granted. But we still have to go through the process.
You're missing my point. I'm not talking about him in particular. He's an example of how somebody who is well-meaning opens up a restaurant that serves alcohol, and then before you know it, they're serving more alcohol than food by dollar amount.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying. It's just that
and
they've got to comply with all the rules just like everybody else.
Can't really control that,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got a question. This is Stephanie. Are we supposed to identify ourselves? Anyway, maybe that's a different meeting. have we in Harlingen used this with a company like Lars has described? They establish themselves, they put all the money into making this building exactly what they want. They're open a year, they wind up, their alcohol sales have spiked. And so we say, close down and go away. Have we done that? Have we done that in Harlingen?
We wouldn't go in and necessarily close somebody down. We tell them, look, you have to apply for an SUP first.
Right.
We'll give them that opportunity to do that.
And if they apply for one and they're within 50 feet against the rule, has that happened so that we've said, you've broken this rule? Do we think it will happen? I mean, will we do that? I'm just curious.
Well, we haven't denied businesses for that particular instance, but there have been requests for bar lounges that have been denied in the city before. Not for that particular reason, but for other reasons.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more the ones who already went into the expense of all that it takes to open a business. All we need to do is ask Lars about that. And then they're open a year and we say, sorry, it sounded like a great idea, but you got to take your marbles somewhere else. Bill?
Yeah.
I'm not calling on you.
We have used the overlay to close a bar in the district. That has happened because we have a set of rules that you have to play by, and this bar did not. And so we closed them, and that bar was closed for 3 or 4 years before they applied and they were allowed to reopen.
Okay. Just curious if we'd ever actually done that.
So it would be, go ahead.
We need to table this and word it differently.
Okay.
What I can do is I can also bring the planning and zoning director for the next meeting, and we can talk to him about the process for this and how it will work.
Well, this is specifically targeting as a business that has requested this, and it seems to me we would be doing a favor for that business, and that somehow doesn't seem right.
Hey, Alexis, can I ask a question?
Sure, of course.
Alexis, I'm trying to understand what their plan is for this alcohol license. What I understand about their business is they have a sort of subscription or membership fee that you pay.
Yes. Okay. So this particular item is in regards to the Rough House. At this moment, they have applied for a license to sell beer/wine alcohol license. At this moment, also on our rules, our 50-foot spacing does not go into place because they're not considered a bar and lounge, since most of their sales are from 50% of their sales are from the boutique and membership. It's not by the alcohol. And that's where you guys come in place. How are we supposed to know exactly if 50% of their total purchases is with the boutique? And if not, at the end of the year when TABC calculates their earnings and so forth, they won't be able to give them their license again to renew if their alcohol percentages is way above the 50%. Then that would be them having to apply for a SUP because they're selling more alcohol than what they're doing off of their memberships, their boutique, the grooming, and so forth. So that's why we're in this case right now.
So my specific question is, will they sell alcohol to people off the street, or do I have to be a member of their subscription
They will
to be
have
able to buy a beer?
They will have to be a member of their subscription. I did remember Angie was saying that when you take your dog there, you have to be members in order for you to sit outside and have them play. It is a membership type of playground. It's not for you just to take your dog there for free. That's the case.
Because if that's the case, the zoning ordinance has a separate definition for something called a private club that sells alcohol that is not a bar, lounge, or business. And it has to be tied to a membership, and they can't sell to, the public outside of that membership. And I know that impacts the TABC application because they also have a separate designation for that.
Okay. We'll have to look into that. I have to call the planning and zoning director to see what exactly, because they have a 60-day notice outside their window.
And it's
Already.
not for the TABC designation of private club. I did check that.
Okay.
I agree with Bill. We need to table it, do more research on this item.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. I need a motion to table this item for further discussion. Stephanie, a second?
Second.
I heard a second. I don't know who it was.
June.
All in favor of tabling the item?
Aye.
Very good. The item has been tabled. Item 7 is tabled. Item 8, consider and take action to modify the overlay if the Planning and Zoning Board recommends disapproval and only allow business not considered a bar or lounge to sell alcohol no later than 8 p.m. I don't even understand the way that's written.
Do you want to table this item? This was if this previous item number, was
Table.
I think we need to table that one as well. We get
Yes.
a motion to table item 8. Stephanie? We get a second on that?
Second.
June gives a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Consider and take action to approve, the table of the motion carries. Consider and take action to approve the amount of $6,000 for the completion of the rock and roll murals on A Street.
Yeah, so 4 panels have already been completed, so we just need to pay the artist for 3. I'm sorry. 3 panels have already been completed, so we need to pay the artist for these murals. And that's the amount of $6,000.
Need a motion to approve. Stephanie motions to approve. Do we have discussions?
Second.
Whoever did the second. Any discussion on this item? Any questions? If not, take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Item 10, the director's report.
It wasn't really a busy month for us in February. As per, we had almost, a whole week of our businesses shut down because of the winter storm. But this upcoming month, we're starting a new March into Spring campaign, which is, kind of allowing our community to shop small, shop downtown Harlingen. And we're doing a little contest where they submit their receipts to the office, to my email, and the winner will win a big old basket full of goodies from our downtown businesses that want to contribute. So some businesses can contribute gift cards, a wine, any type of goodies that you all want to put in there. We're looking for donations and giveaways for that. And that's, that's even if our community even participates, but that's just a kind of incentive to have our community shop small and shop downtown. And then in the future, in May, I am looking into submitting another sidewalk sale like we did in November, a spring sale. So that would be having to be approved for next board meeting. So that way we can have it in May and send it to our health director so the mayor, we can get approval from the mayor for that. Other than that, Juan's been kind of fixing up our streetscape here with our plant beds, and we're supposed to be ordering flowers soon, but this weather has kind of gotten in the mix of it. So we haven't gotten our plants yet. So other than that, that's about it. Any questions for me?
Yes, I have one.
Go ahead.
Is anybody cutting down palms on Van Buren? Palm trees?
We did that in our yearly palm tree trimming.
I'm not talking about trimming or anything like that. I'm talking about it bothers them that they're planning to cut the whole palm tree.
Who? Where?
Who said that?
Well, I'll call you later.
Okay.
Okay.
We're not, the city's not cutting down any palm trees. We normally trim them, but we don't cut them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not us.
I heard this at a conversation, and that's why I don't want to put it on record. Cool. Yeah.
Some people don't understand the palm trees on the sidewalk are city property and they don't have the right to even touch them. So,
Okay, good.
Back.
Alexis, so what's the story on the Uppercut Club?
So the Uppercut Club is not considered a bar and lounge since 50% of their sales come from their cutting hair. So they will be allowed to sell alcohol with the TBC license.
Okay, that's gonna, our table
But
factors are gonna.
But they are not adjacent or they are not within 50 feet of another existing bar and lounge.
Have they
Gotcha.
received the license yet?
Have they received the license yet? I don't believe so, but I need to double check with them.
Kat's not gonna step over it.
Because right now they can't sell, but since last week or 2 weeks ago, the Cameron County kind of amended their emergency order to allow bars to open up again. I need to see if they got their TBC certification. I'll double check and let you guys know.
Thank you.
Alexis?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to comment, I'm really enjoying the banners that we got last year. They look so nice. And I really look forward to the changing. So, you know, we did a good job. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Alexis.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Anytime.
Bill and
Yes, Bill and Ray. Bill and Ray, they've, put in their volunteers and time to put those up.
Yeah.
Even though I lost my planter.
Oh, I know. I know. We got to look into right now. She's kind of hard to get a hold of since they're all kind of virtually working from home. So I've been emailing her and calling her, and she hasn't responded back.
Alexis, are you talking about Roberta?
Yes.
Her husband died.
Oh, so she's going
husband
through
died
something.
fairly
Okay.
recently.
You get 2 days off for a spouse dying.
Okay.
This is not the
Roberta.
time, Steve, for your comment.
Okay.
Sorry.
Take control, Mars. Cancel the meeting.
Here we go. All right, it's time to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
I see a second by Stephanie. All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting has ended.
Thank you guys for attending.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Gus.
Gabe.
Thanks for coming.
Gabe,
Yes.
we
Bye,
need to talk
everybody.
about the drape you got in the background there.